Karen knocked over my elderly neighbor's wheelchair. She got 3 months in jail. There's a difference between being strict and being cruel. I've lived on Heather Ridge Drive for 3 years. Moved here after my mom passed, hoping for some peace. I work remote, freelance IT security, and most of my time is spent coding or fixing broken firewalls. Quiet, private, unbothered. That lasted about 5 weeks, until Karen arrived. Her real name was Stephanie, mid-50s. Single, never smiled with her eyes. Within days of moving in, she declared herself temporary HOA enforcement, even though our HOA hadn't been active since 2017. She printed fake notices, left paper warnings on cars. She even measured grass height with a yardstick. But nobody expected her to go that far. Mr. Darnell lived 2 doors down from me, a Korean War vet, 92 years old, tough as nails, and stubborn in the best way. Every morning he rolled himself down the block in his wheelchair to feed the birds at the corner park. Everyone knew him. Everyone waved. He'd tell old stories if you asked, sometimes even if you didn't. He had a flag clipped to the back of his chair. Always wore his Navy cap. Last Monday, I saw him head out as usual, slow but steady, whistling low. 10 minutes later, I heard yelling. By the time I ran down the block, the scene looked like something out of a nightmare. Mr. Darnell was on the ground. His chair was tipped on its side, wheels spinning, his cap tossed into a puddle. Karen stood above him, yelling about public obstruction and sidewalk violations. Her phone was out like she was proud of it. "Call the police," I shouted. "He needs help." She turned to me like I was the criminal. He was blocking the sidewalk. I told him to move. He refused. He's in a wheelchair. Karen, he was a hazard. He's a human being. That was when I noticed the blood. His elbow had split open on the concrete. The flag on his chair was crumpled and half torn, stained with dirt. Neighbors started flooding in. Someone called 911. Someone else was already filming. Mr. Darnell was taken to the ER with a fractured wrist and a bruised rib. Karen tried to claim he lunged at her with his chair. The video told a different story. That night, I posted the footage to the community board. It spread like wildfire. Fake HOA enforcer attacks 92-year-old veteran over sidewalk space. Karen assaults disabled neighbor, claims authority she doesn't have. The video showed everything: her yelling, shoving, the deliberate kick that tipped his chair. There was no doubt. The fallout was instant. Veteran groups got involved. So did the mayor. The police reclassified the case from disturbance to felony elder abuse. And Karen, she lawyered up. But no PR team on earth could fix what she'd done. As we dug deeper, we found even more. She'd issued fines to a single mother over holiday lights. Told a teenage boy he'd be evicted for skateboarding near the curb. Even tried to tow a disabled veteran's car over a 48-hour rule she made up. All with fake HOA letters on stationery she printed herself. She'd used fear, shame, and intimidation to prop herself up like a queen in a cardboard crown. But the mask finally cracked. At her hearing, the judge didn't even let her speak first. The evidence was overwhelming. She was sentenced to 90 days in county jail for aggravated assault on an elderly person and impersonation of authority. The courtroom applauded, not because of vengeance, because of justice. Mr. Darnell recovered. He's slower now, doesn't go to the park alone anymore, but he's tougher than she ever was. A GoFundMe launched by a neighbor raised over $40,000 to get him a new electric wheelchair, one that can't be tipped by anyone's boot. We had a ceremony last Saturday. The mayor came. So did the local VFW. They installed a plaque on the sidewalk where it happened. It reads, "Here stood a man who never backed down, not to war, not to hate, and not to cruelty." As for the neighborhood, we finally did something real. We voted to form a community council, open, transparent, with actual elections. The first rule passed. No self-appointed authority ever again. Karen's house is for sale now. The flyer says charming home in a peaceful neighborhood. We kept it peaceful long before she arrived, and we'll keep it that way long after she's gone. So now I ask you, when does rule enforcement turn into abuse? What would you do if someone kicked your grandfather out of his chair? Share your thoughts, because community isn't about control, it's about care.